The Cigar Nerds Podcast.
And welcome to the Cigar Nerds Podcast. I'm your host, Smokin' Joe.
And I'm the Ginger Avenger.
Amanda back again. Still have no idea where Brad's at. He may be in Tijuana.
Brad was kidnapped by pygmies. He's somewhere in a cave being tortured, roasted on a spit, maybe. I don't know.
Last I heard he was in Virginia, so maybe the West
Oh,
Virginia.
God, the hillbillies got him.
Maybe it was the West Virginia Ninja got him.
You know
Ever
what
seen
happens
that
when you hear banjos?
video? West Virginia Ninja?
No, I don't know what the West Virginia Ninja is.
I was in the infancy of YouTube, an old redneck dude who did this like martial arts video, and he's like the West Virginia Ninja.
West Virginia Ninja?
He's like, yeah, got a can of dip. Nah, this is a Ninja Star. You go, Ninja Star, and he's like throwing cans of dip at people and.
But it's rounded off.
Judy Chop.
It's rounded off.
I don't know. After we're done, I'll find that video. It's a classic of the internet. And speaking of classics, what do we do here other than talk shit about movies? Review cigars. And this week, I'm smoking the Los Statos Deluxe Maduro edition. We previously did the regular Los Statos Deluxe, but now they've released a Maduro version. Yeah, and these are the ones kind of. If you remember the last time we talked about these, lovingly referred to them as the tampon cigars because they come wrapped in paper and tissue paper, and it kind of looks like a feminine hygiene product.
Again, if it doesn't have a retrieval string, it's not a tampon. Okay.
Tell me that does not look like a tampon wrapper.
There's still no retrieval string.
Talking about the packaging.
Well,
the originals came in a white
okay.
tube, so yeah, it was even more so.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, this has a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and fillers from the Dominican Republic and Honduras.
It is cold as balls in here, dude.
That reminds me, I gotta turn the heater off because microphones pick that shit up.
Oops. I'm so sorry. I want my lady parts to not stick to the chair and get frostbitten. I want the heat. A little bit of vibration in the back ain't gonna hurt nothing.
So yeah, this is got kind of a dark Maduro wrapper. It's a little bit oily, a little bit kind of that coffee.
Oily?
Yes, oily.
That's... Sorry, my brain just broke. That's just a very weird way to refer to a cigar for me.
No, that's actually how you refer to
Well,
Maduro
I didn't know that.
cigars.
That's why I'm fucking asking.
Because it's, some of them have like kind of an oily sheen to them with the Maduros.
Don't make me go get a fucking mask on and come after your ass with a fucking axe.
And that leads us into this week's topic.
Exactly. That was the point.
Transitions don't work as well when you point out you're doing the transition. It's kind of like explaining a joke. It's never as good as if you just let it be.
Yes, but there's always that special little section of people that need it explained because they don't get it at first.
We've recovered from the food coma, and this is our Thanksgiving episode. And there's pretty much every holiday at this point has a go-to horror movie. We've talked about several Christmas-themed horror movies. Well, Halloween's. They're all
point of contention.
There's several Valentine's Day.
I
horror
wasn't going to
movies.
say Valentine's Day. I was going to say Easter. I mean, if you count leprechauns being
Zombie
St. Patrick's
Jesus.
Day,
That's kind of.
okay.
I don't know. That's. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure if we have an Easter horror movie.
I was going to say Easter, actually. Thank you.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm under.
I'm sure
I'm
there's a
look
4th
that
of
up
July
to see if there is a. There is a 4th of July
I'm
horror
sure
movie.
there is.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look to see if there is a horror Easter combo. But yeah, so now Thanksgiving has a traditional horror movie to go to. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving, the movie.
I mean, I guess the closest you could get would be the scene from Addams Family where the kids are at the summer camp and doing the first Thanksgiving reenactment. I guess that's the closest horror Thanksgiving tie-in.
There's some really bad budget like this like B movie, a couple Thanksgiving ones kind of as a joke. I think it's like Thanksgiving, but this is
Something
like
with
the first like
killer turkey.
studio Thanksgiving themed horror movie. So if you've got to fight off an angry pilgrim, you should call in the Strike Force. StrikeForceEnergy.com. Use your promo code Cigar Nerds for 20% off your order. You know, get all jacked up on that caffeine so you can run for your lives.
Maybe we should order some. Maybe that way I can have some life left in me by the time. Well,
Yeah,
you drink it all before I got home anyway.
It's been a while, so you just order like 2 bottles, and then you take
What, and
yours.
hide one?
Yes, just leave yours in the car.
I can't. It's too cold outside. It'll freeze in the car.
I don't think it will freeze. That's an experiment. We'll find out if it's. Yeah, I mean, you put enough vodka in it, it won't freeze. But with that, we're going to be right back with the main topic. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And welcome back. It's time to talk about Thanksgiving. And I forgot this was even called Thanksgiving, because for some reason, like Thanksgiving seemed like a much better name, which I think it's been done.
Well,
But
that's probably why it wasn't named.
well, it's like fucking Googling it, trying to like come up with the.
All the writers were on strike. All the people with the creative minds were on strike. They couldn't come up with a better title.
The SEO was bad for this, because it's like try to Google Thanksgiving. It's like shit. It's just a ton of Thanksgiving stuff or Thanksgiving. You got Thanksgiving movie 2023. Yeah, it's like
Laser specific.
laser specific.
Laser specific. When you're looking things up, you have to be laser specific. Otherwise, you end up in the dark corners of the internet and seeing things you don't want to see.
Turkey porn.
Ew. I mean, cranberry sauce, maybe.
Oh, I did see
No
a
turkey.
meme. It was a cranberry sauce fleshlight for Thanksgiving.
God, why did I even lead you into that? Because you told me about that shit, and I would just was happier not thinking about it. I had wiped that from my brain. I didn't have room for that.
Well, have you ever seen the movie Grindhouse?
No.
All right, it was a double feature back in I want to see 2007 is when Grindhouse came in. It was a double feature with one. It was like back-to-back horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
One directed by Quentin Tarantino and one directed by Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in between the movies, there was a whole bunch of fake trailers for upcoming movies, because it was supposed to be like old school going to the theater double feature. And one of these fake trailers was a movie called Thanksgiving that eventually became real. There was several others. The Machete movies started off as a fake trailer in this, movie that eventually and then also Hobo with a Shotgun was another fake trailer that like all these fake trailers. Everyone's like, man, I want to see these fucking movies that were fake trailers that now, freaking 10, 15 years later, finally actually become a real thing. And directed by Eli Roth, if you're familiar with the Hostel series of films.
I can take or leave that.
That's one thing that surprised me about this, because, Roth, kind of old school, I would say brought the, kind of kicked off the torture porn genre of horror. But this wasn't that. Did not seem like an Eli Roth movie to me. It definitely wasn't like a Hostel where it's like just torture porn for torture porn sake. This was more of your traditional slasher film to me. It kind of felt more like a Scream, like a slasher
all right,
film.
I'll give you that.
Because with Scream, it took the slasher film genre to like the murder mystery, kind of mixed in the murder mystery element where,
Scooby-Doo version of slasher films.
Yeah, because our traditional 80s slasher movies, it was like Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, where it's like, who the killer is.
Respect the classics, man. Freddy is all there is to it. Freddy is all there.
But yeah, like the traditional slasher trope is, who the killer is. It's some kind of monster or maniac or whatever. There's not a whodunit element to it until I would say like the Scream series where it's like, you're all right. We do have a masked killer, but it could be.
Well, that's because all of
anyone
our
from the
generation
town.
has gotten older now, and Scooby-Doo doesn't do it for us anymore. But we still want that, oh, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, we even have that kind of at one point in the movie, and we'll get to it when we get a little closer to the to the end. But yeah, I really appreciate for what looks to be a cheesy slasher film.
And it was, let's be honest.
It was, but
it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be.
It was a well-written, cheesy slasher film. Where normally a lot of these movies, like, I call the killer in the first, 5 minutes. But
yeah,
they did a good enough job of setting up enough dead ends and red herrings that I didn't call the actual killer until maybe 5 minutes before it was revealed. Because I was betting on one guy the whole way. And then, like I said, spoiler, as we start getting into it, we'll run down that rabbit hole. But I thought it did a good job of
casting enough different directions that you weren't exactly sure.
Yeah, there was surprised by who the actual killer was. I mean, what do you think? I mean, was it as cheesy as you expected it to be?
It was not as bad as I was expecting. I mean, I was actually entertained. I was kind of not looking forward to going to see this because it's this is going to be so dumb. It was more intelligent than I thought it was going to be. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, it did a good job of intentionally being dumb and not accidentally being dumb, but in a smart way, if that makes any sense.
But I mean, be honest, how much of the entertainment value that we got out of this was because of our seatmate up the aisle that was laughing and talking to himself the whole time?
Yeah, I mean,
what? How are you going to phrase this? I'm curious.
Well, we live in North Georgia area, so we always see the movies of the stereotype of the African American movie watcher, but we don't really experience it that much. And we had a guy sharing a aisle with
Brenda
us.
from Scream is what you're talking about. It's Brenda from Scream. Her sitting in the movies with her hot sauce, answering her phone. You don't remember Scream? You don't remember Brenda?
No, I do not.
I am so disappointed in you right now.
But it's the talking back to the screen and
yes.
oh hell
funny.
no, run bitch! We heard all of those.
That was funny.
And it made this movie so much better.
That man was by himself, but he was enjoying it more than anybody else around because he was talking to the screen the whole time, and it was hilarious.
But yeah, it was. But and the way it starts off, it looks
cheesy.
Yeah, it's oh, this is gonna be, but then it gets more in depth once the actual murders start. But it did a good job. Oh, this is gonna be a cheesy ass horror movie, and then it got good in a bad way.
I mean, I'm all for some camp every now and then, but this was a little different. But it wasn't bad.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm definitely a horror connoisseur, and this just kind of reminded me of that classic era. And then also, it's kind of one of the things we've talked about in the past, that it's hard to set horror movies in modern times because then you got to figure out a way to take cell phones and technology out of it. Where this one did a good job of integrating social media and cell phones into the plot.
I'm gonna cut this bitch's head off and see how many likes and thumbs up emojis I can get.
Yeah, he's
That's
live
sad.
live streaming his murders and posting the stuff on
Let's see
Instagram.
How many hits I can get. I mean, that has actually happened. There has been people that have actually done that. I've seen videos and heard news stories about it where so-and-so and their boyfriend get into a fight and she kills him on live.
Oh yeah, it's not the.
And there actually is thumbs up, and then people reacting because people are stupid. But
yeah, and how many people would see a live murder on and think it's like fake. It's like, oh, this is some dumb TikTok thing, like fake.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how it goes down, but people get a lot of, emojis and likes and hits on those accounts where they have, Asian women step on baby ducks and stuff too. So people are sick.
I mean,
people are sick.
I'm from the meme of like, don't fuck with Gen X because, we've seen some shit. Like, we're from the age of the internet where, like,
Faces of Death video.
I was gonna say like Live Leak and what's some of the, yeah, but we used to have websites that were nothing but like freaking
the Faces
real
of Death videos
and murder and like,
the
terrorist
dude with the
beheadings
elephantitis of the nutsack where he's sitting on a flesh-colored beanbag will forever be branded on my brain. Nakaroma, strong like bull.
So yeah, we're from that era of the internet where we seen some shit, so it's like
yes,
we're
but
not
we
as
did that
traumatized.
huddled up down in our basements. We didn't put it all out on the internet for everybody to. I mean, 6
somebody
million
did,
random
but you had to like
you had to
search out the fuckery. Yeah. I mean, there was whole websites dedicated to the fuckery, where now it's like everything's on Facebook and Instagram.
You don't
until
have to
it
go
gets
far to
pulled.
find fuckery.
But
Look up Florida Man. You'll find all the fuckery you ever could use.
I'm trying to think of some of those other like bad websites we used to go to back in the day before we were all on social media.
Oh God. Okay.
I remember Live Leak and
yeah.
Rotten.com.
Rotten.com. There you
horrible
go.
One.
Yeah. 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Blue Waffle.
Oh.
Shrek is Love.
You'd go seeking porn and then you would find like freaking Taliban beheading videos. You'd be like, goddamn it,
This
wrong.
is why I
wrong
said
link, wrong
you
link.
have to be laser specific when you're searching. Make sure you put all the letters in there. I want this specific thing, not things related to it by some imaginary connection.
But anyway, we're kind of off the rails on this. Yeah, this movie, good old-fashioned vengeance film, I would say, starts off in basically last year's Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts. When I think Massachusetts, I think Salem witch trials and stuff. So it's kind of weird having a
really think about Massachusetts at all,
set horror film that doesn't have to do with witchcraft. But speaking of things based on reality, it all starts with a freaking Black Friday riot at the whatever Right Smart or whatever. Yeah, Right Mart, which
Right
was there.
Mart. It was Walmart. Let's be honest.
That was
Target
like
or Walmart.
knockoff Best Buy.
It was Target or Walmart. We're giving away a free waffle iron. Everybody wants that waffle iron, and you're willing to kill for it because I like waffles.
Yeah, so
I'm so far out of my brain right now.
Yeah, greedy store owner decides not to close the store on Black Friday and open up like right after.
Stupid early.
So there's like a crowd of people. Well, his daughter and her kind of entitled friends decide that, we'll just go in the back door and get our cell phone and buy all our stuff before everyone else can buy it since, she's got daddy's keys. Well, this angers the people that are watching outside who then...
It's not until they start like harassing them through the glass that it becomes a problem. When you see the dickhead high school kids, shaking their whatever, look at my waffle iron, pretty much exactly is what it is. It's look at my waffle iron is basically what started this whole mess.
Yeah, so then like everyone like bum rushes the store and one security guy's like fuck this and runs off, and then you get one security guy like just fucking trampled, and then the store manager's wife gets ran over with like bus.
She got like hit and it fell to the ground, and then she got smacked in the head with a shopping cart, and then
pretty much like snapped her neck, and then her hair gets
tangled in the wheel, and the people are pulling their carts away and basically like
scalping her
a little bit.
And one homeboy gets like his throat slit coming through the door and like still trying to like grab a package as he's bleeding out, and then someone comes and like takes his freaking package and
blood's only on the box, it's fine.
and then like dickhead football player who kind of incited the whole riots, like standing on the fucking register, like live streaming this, massacre.
Yep. Which does make you an asshole. I mean, it makes you an asshole. You're a dick. It's not like that's unusual behavior for now. Most people would rather film and watch than intercede in the first place. But
yeah, you had the one guy that was the, high school baseball star that was fixing to, like, go play for some big college. He was like the only one that was like, saw someone getting hurt and tried to, crawl out to like save somebody, and got his arm broke and ruined his
baseball
career.
You're never gonna pitch again. Yeah, well, no good deed goes unpunished.
But for what, pretty good cast for what, appeared to be a cheesy horror movie. I mean, sheriff of the town's played by Patrick Dempsey, and the manager's wife who
McDreamy,
who gets killed is Gina Gershon, which I haven't seen her in a little while, but yeah, she's still a pretty big fucking actress.
That was about everybody I recognized, though. I don't really think.
Well, I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy who played the owner of the show.
Yeah, he was on Suits.
Yeah, since y'all, Suits for some reason getting a, which I never watched when it was on the first time, but for some reason it's getting a big kind of resurgence lately. It's like everyone's like, oh, I'm watching Suits now. It's kind of like one of those shows that comes to, once it comes to streaming, it's like people, catch up on
Tends
things.
to develop a whole new following.
It was like somebody, I forgot what show it was the other day. One of the guys at the shop was like, oh man, I discovered this show. It's fucking awesome. And then it's like a couple weeks later, he's like, God damn it. I finished watching that shit and then didn't realize it was like on regular TV before and got canceled after one season. So so it's like, it's over now and like, I don't know how it's going to end. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, that's a painful thing to have happen to you, because that happened to me with fucking Scorpion, and that shit is painful. Like, I've never seen this show. This looks so great. Oh, look, it was canceled mid-fucking season. Kind of like that sci-fi channel.
Firefly?
No, the other one. The one with the Jim Henson puppeteers.
Oh, Farscape?
Farscape. I was into that shit too, and then suddenly it's no longer in production. Like, fuck you. I like my Muppets, man. Give me my Muppets.
I like the
And
Happy
sexy
Time
aliens.
Murders. Happy Time Murders.
I don't care. I still like that movie. That movie's fucking funny. I don't care who you are.
I gotta say, I normally don't like Melissa McCarthy, but that movie's funny as shit.
Bad. She's funny sometimes.
Depends on what she's in. Like, I like her as a supporting actress, but the movies where she's like the lead in them, it's almost like just too much. It's like, a
little too far in your face.
It's like, when she's like a supporting actress, it's a good sprinkle of comedy, but when she's like the main, you get burned out on it. She's just
But she was the main actress in the Happy Time Murders, if you don't count the fucking
That's what I'm
Muppet.
saying. That's the exception to Melissa McCarthy being annoying. She's like, you got to get her in small doses. In small doses, she's fucking hilarious.
I like my Muppets. It's fine.
But yeah, so a year later, they're preparing to have another big Thanksgiving Black Friday sale
because we're stupid and we don't learn the first time, and who cares if X amount of people died and there was this tragedy? We're gonna make some money.
And supposedly, the former store manager whose wife got killed, he's protesting the store, and like magically all the security camera footage disappeared that night, so all they have is the kids that was streaming it on their cell phones. And it was just ruled a horrible accident. No one was ever charged with anything. And of course the family that owns has been spent a year doing like,
a lot of good PR.
Yeah, as you see every celebrity
charity.
do, like,
we're going to revamp the local park, and no, you're wrong.
But yeah, you've got the freaking baseball guy.
He went AWOL.
He completely disappeared, and of course, Jessica, the main girl, daughter of the store owner, is suddenly dating another dude. So you got, and then homeboy shows back up, who's been missing for a year. So you got him. You got a brand new sheriff deputy who just came to town, and then you also have the angry.
That dude was weird.
You've got the angry, former store owner or store manager whose wife got killed. So you got plenty of like good possible.
There's a lot of
killers.
viable suspects. Don't forget his fucking store owner's fucking wife. That bitch she was something else.
Yeah, his
spin doctor trying to turn it any which way but loose about, oh no, we had absolutely nothing. We did nothing wrong. There was nothing bad.
Yeah, your typical Hollywood or gold digger.
Yuppie poodle.
Because I mean, she was apparently like the real estate agent who was selling them their house, and then of course seduced the dad and became the evil stepmother.
Well, that's what happens. You knock off the wife and shack up with the husband because I guess men are stupid sometimes, especially if they're rich.
Yeah, Bobby. Bobby was the baseball player. Yeah, the kids were Jessica, Evan, Gabby, Scuba, and Yulia.
Yulia.
Yeah, because she was the Russian
because if you don't have a story, you got to throw a hot Russian girl in there, and now you have more of a story.
I mean, that was the kind of the only thing missing to make this like traditional 80s slasher is there was no nudity. Like all our slasher movies had random titties in them back in the day, and we got no titties in this.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you had the cheerleader, so
that's the I thought that's where we were getting our random titties, but as since they're having this.
Note to all Hollywood executive types: random titties are good. Everybody likes random titties.
Because this is set in Plymouth, which Plymouth Rock is supposed to be the first Thanksgiving. It's a big deal.
Surprise titties.
John Carver, like one of the original Pilgrims, they're giving out free masks at the local freaking diner, and homeboy shows up as dressed as a pilgrim, blending in with all the other pilgrims, and just starts murking people in inventive.
If Wednesday and this to teach us nothing, it's pilgrims are not good.
Thanksgiving related murders.
It's just not a good icon that you want to use to,
In the first kill, you get
Thanksgiving's bad anyway, but
one of the ladies you see, I think she was one of the ones. I know she took like the package from the dude who got his throat slit, and I'm pretty sure she was one of the ones that like hit the wife.
She was one of the ones inciting the riot too. I think she was the one that ended up. Yeah, she hit the wife with the cart while she was inside the store and ended up scalping her.
She's closing up at the diner, and in comes the pilgrim.
Not exactly a blameless, innocent victim.
No. They did a good job of making like all the victims like kind of horrendous people. So you're just like,
go get 'em.
Like, it's almost like the last Saw movie.
Until you start taking out the kids. I mean, the kids didn't.
I mean, they were just dumb.
They were just dumb kids.
But the adults were like, yeah, fuck those people. It was kind of like the last Saw movie. It's like, this is the one Saw where I'm cheering for Jigsaw. Because the people who you're killing are fucking despicable.
You guys all suck. You guys all suck. Nobody's going to shed a tear for you.
But yeah, the face froze into the freezer.
Which is bullshit. Because I have been in my fair share of industrial freezers. You are not gonna freeze to that son of a bitch. I don't care how wet
Dude,
your
have
face,
you not watched
your
the
hands
Christmas
are.
Story?
You are not gonna
stick
freeze
your tongue
to that
to the,
son of a
the
bitch
telephone
instantly.
pole.
It does not
freeze.
happen that way.
If you lick the telephone pole, your tongue freezes to it, man. It's simple.
First of all, telephone
it's
poles are made of
physics.
wood.
It's simple movie physics. Yeah, metal is like worse. You'll freeze that quicker.
That is bullshit. That is bullshit.
Next time, lick your freezer. See what happens.
I've touched industrial freezers while I was wet. My clothes were wet. My hands were wet. You do not stick to it. It is not going to rip your skin off. That's not how it works.
But it looks cooler for Hollywood.
True.
And then, like, she
it
hides
cool
in the office
my
until the
great uncle did it with dry ice too, but he only had 3 fingers on each hand at some point or another.
But yeah, she freaking hides. Manages not to get axed, and then hides in the office till the pilgrim leaves, and then you're like, why is she going back for her purse? I'm like, well, if you're going to run away, you're going to need your fucking car keys. But of course, Homeboy had already taken her car keys and runs her over with her own car, chopping her in half.
Yeah, which is just cold. That's just cold.
Oh, and I gotta say, the body reveal on that one is like...
That was good. I'll give you that one. That was
I
impressive.
literally laughed out loud when I saw that because, like I said, he cut her in half and put the lower half on front of the store with the, like basically giant stars shoved up her ass in front of the sign that says 50% off.
Yep.
I'm like, that
was poetic and beautiful.
I fucking laughed out loud in the I was like, all right, this is that kind of movie. All right.
That was poetic.
I'm on
and
board.
Beautiful.
And then you get the security guard that fled. Yeah, he's like one of the next victims. He gets like, gutted with the traditional like electric turkey carving knife.
Oh, of course. Yes.
But of course, like, dude's going to leave and the cat's like, man, because cats don't give a fuck as long as somebody feeds them. It's like if it was a dog would, defend his master, but the cat's just like, bro, yeah, you're on your own. So the killer like stops and like, fucking guts this dude, cuts his head off, and is like leaving with his head in a bowling bag or something. And he's like sees the cat, and he's like, all right, fine. He like pours the cat food and like gives it a little pet before he
feed the cat before I leave. Gotta give it some scritches and feed it. It's fine. Cat didn't have anything to do with nothing. Cat's above it all.
Yeah, cat's a killer on its own right. So, dog.
We understand each other. It's fine. We're on the same level.
Oh, I fell down a rabbit hole watching those videos of the guy that does voices for his cats.
And you give me shit for being on TikTok all the time. You understand that Facebook Reels are the same fucking thing as TikTok videos,
yeah,
right?
but all your TikToks are people complaining about customer service, and mine are guys getting high and making voice voice acting of their cats.
Videos too. And dirty porn book talk. Get on that one too.
It's that and like Call Me Chris doing weird Russian accents. It's like, I don't know.
And hot lesbians. I'm on hot lesbian talk a lot. Not gonna lie.
Oh.
There is a whole cornucopia of videos available on TikTok. It just depends on which ones you stay on longer as to what you start seeing more of. It's like the algorithm. The algorithm figures it out.
Yeah, but as soon as bodies start dropping and they think it has to do with the riot, the cops are like, can you recognize anybody from the videos? And they're like, wait a minute, I think there's a stepmom deleted all the videos to
avoid the
lawsuits. But there should have been a backup. So they go get the backup, and of course, like point out everyone that they know to the
just weird.
To the cop.
What store owner has backup video feeds going to his private basement viewing room? That's just fucking weird.
No, that's how most people do. Most security systems now run off a wireless backup. So if someone breaks into
your house, you have that sent to your office, and you have security personnel watching that shit. Not sent to your house so you can.
That was his home office. And
whatever. It was weird. I don't care.
If someone breaks into your business and then steals your computer that has the security footage on it, you need an off-site backup.
Be off-site backups. That's normal, but I'm not expecting it to run to your home so you can sit there and watch people all day. It's just fucking weird.
I know more than one person that has that set up so they can check on their employees.
Yes,
when
and
they're
I
off-site.
have worked in those buildings, and it's fucking weird. It's fucking creepy, man.
And what's extra creepy is when they call in on the voice camera, like, what the fuck are you doing?
You got nothing better to do than sit at home, count your money, and watch me? No, that's just fucking creepy. It's just fucking creepy.
Yeah, you've not been a business owner.
No, but I've run a lot of them.
So yeah, as soon as the cops get all the footage of all the people involved, next new suspect is the
new boyfriend,
who's like college dude, and you're like, oh, you said you didn't know anybody at the riot except for the one guy, but here you are, like
talking to
doing a bro hug with the security guard that got killed. He's like, yeah, he was my drug dealer. I was trying to be
score Adderall.
Yeah, He's like, what? He's like, yeah, Adderall. That's what all us college students that, stay up all night studying do.
Which is true. That is absolutely true.
He says, you got to, bro hug your, he's like, bro hugging is so I can buy some drugs, man. I didn't know the fucking guy.
Yeah, well.
Which, yeah, of course.
How well do you
sense.
really know your dealer?
I wouldn't know. Freaking Cheech.
Shut to the fuck up. Now you're going to have to explain. Now you have to give some context here.
No. They can figure it out on their own.
Fuck you.
Freaking Doug and the catnip.
We're going off on some
Talking to some puppets.
weird fucking tangents here, just so you know.
That's what we do. I know you're not around here as very often, but that's kind of what we do here is
Okay.
go down tangents.
True.
We say the episode has a theme at the beginning, and then we just kind of go down the rabbit hole.
It's fucking bait and switch. It's for real
Exactly.
bait and switch.
Oh, but yeah, and then of course the main teens start disappearing. Yeah, but back to when I thought we were finally going to get movie titties is one of the people that kind of started the riot was a rival football team's player, and him and his cheerleader girlfriend are he's like, man, I can't have sex because we got to save it up for the game. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna give you a little tease. So she starts doing like a trampoline strip tease,
Which was fucking weird. It wasn't hot. It wasn't sexy. It was fucking weird.
But what made me laugh was like, all right, Pilgrim comes up, snaps the dude's neck, but then gets under the trampoline with a knife. So this lady's like keeps bouncing and keeps getting stabbed as she's bouncing. Just bouncing up and down on the knife. And it was like, oh, that's fucked up.
Writers were definitely on strike at this time. It's not hard to see.
And she survived all that too, because later on, like, once the whole family gets kidnapped, she's in the wine fridge at the murder house, as evil stepmom's getting baked.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, yeah. As the kids start disappearing, and and the homeboy's posting, got a nice like Thanksgiving table set up, and like as he's killing people, he's like putting them at the dinner table. So they come up with after like was it Gabby and her boyfriend disappear? They're like, well, let's they get what's her name, Yulia, her dad, like Russian mafia guy's like, no, we're going to Florida, like
We're leaving. Shit. We're getting out of here.
But yeah, homeboy showing up with the stabbing her
He
in
was
the
a
ears.
Disappointment. Dad was a total fucking disappointment. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, he got taken out with like the whatever dart gun. But yeah, but then you get her getting stabbed with the while live streaming it with the freaking corncob holders.
That was pretty creative, I'll give you that. Corncob holders straight into the ears. Not gonna kill you, but probably not pleasant.
And of course you got your local redneck party guy, is it McCarty?
Gun shop owner's son with his musket, and he's like, y'all need to get some guns, because like no one ever has guns in horror movies. No,
so
we don't do guns in horror movies.
They finally like, all right, we're gonna go see McCarthy, and I love takes him up to like taking him to VIP because he's having a big like house
party.
party.
Have a gun in a horror movie. It's now a horror meme because it's over. The situation is resolved.
But yeah, he pulls out the guitar case full of guns, and it's like Desert Eagle, like gold Desert Eagle, and of course the guy's like, nah, dude, like, he's like, all right, well, how about that? And then he has like a radio with a hidden gun compartment, pulls out a big 44 Magnum. He's like, what about the Dirty Harry? He's like, dude, do you have any like normal sized people guns? And I'm like, bro, he just showed you
These
a
aren't
Deagle
normal sized people
and a 44, like either one of those prime. He's finally like, all right, here you go, like a Sig 9mm. He's like, all right, yeah, this is more normal size. And then tries to give the girl like, I got this like hidden knife thing. I don't
need it.
He's like, no, the only gun I ever shot was a
musket.
A muzzle.
The only thing I've ever shot was a muzzle loader, because
and I almost
that's
blew myself up
so much like.
But yeah, she had to keep saying, like, my dad made me figure out how to, like, pack and load this muzzle loader for a commercial, and, like, that's the only gun I know how to use. Or, like, oh, someone's definitely getting killed with a muzzle.
Yeah, duh.
A blunderbuss at some point in this film. Called out foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but Homeboy gets his gun and tries to rescue his girlfriend, and he, like, doesn't take the shot. And she gets thrown on a table saw, and then, of course, he loses his gun after that because the cops all show up. I'm like, bro, you finally get a gun, and you just fuck it up. And
it doesn't matter. We have muskets. We're going to use muskets.
He should have took the
Fuck
shot.
you.
I mean, he was 6 foot away from the guy doing the hostage shot. I mean, that's... I
can manage a forehead shot from there.
I mean, I
can do
understand
that.
someone who doesn't train, but you got to practice that hostage shot. And it's 6 foot, too, man. It's like, dude, you could almost have muzzle tapped the guy and ended this movie, 45 minutes early.
I could have forehead shot the dude.
But he hesitated, and his girlfriend got table sawed, which was not a lot of gruesome stuff. That the table saw ripping the guts out and throwing them everywhere. I'm like, all right, that's an Eli Roth special right there. It looked.
Stepmom was my favorite. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, so after this, they decide to set a trap. We're going to do Scooby-Doo action, and we know they're going to come for you, so we're just going to... Y'all going to be in the parade.
Put you in the parade, front and fucking center, so...
And then when, like, he'll follow you back to the parade grounds, and we'll make it look empty, but it'll be full of cops. But, of course, Homeboy has switched up his outfit for a creepy clown outfit instead of the traditional pilgrim look, and smokes bombs everything, and just, like, ends up kidnapping the whole family at once. It's like, yeah, thank y'all for putting everybody I need right in the same location. But yeah,
yes, because then I'm gonna use my freaking trank gun, my automatic trank gun, because yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, those things are bolt action, but somehow he, like, triple taps with a. I'm the one that always
trank you all at once because this is movie land and we do special things.
Yep. There's a movie without a technical advisor.
They were on the side of the writers. They were on strike too.
I mean, the small town sheriff carries like a big ass revolver. No one in law enforcement carries revolvers anymore.
He's small town PD. It's fine. He saw Andy Griffith do it once and he thought he should do it too. McDreamy doesn't do things the right way. I think that's what he was called, McDreamy.
But yeah, then they start waking up in the Pilgrim's murder basement, and of course, stepmom. She's the Thanksgiving turkey.
Literally.
Yeah, he's got her like tied up and with
posed with the little caps on her toes or feet, so that the frilly little caps that you're supposed to put on the turkey legs. And
yeah, and of course, but yeah, he's like freaking basting her too. Get like fully prepared. I'm surprised he didn't stuff her as well. Or if he did, we didn't see that part on camera. But yeah, she ends up getting away for a second.
The rating for that. That's in the scenes you didn't see.
Gets chased down and put in the oven and gets full on like turkey baked. Oh yeah, before he throws it in the oven, he stabs her with a freaking one of those turkey thermometers.
Meat thermometer, yeah.
And it actually shows it like popping out. I'm like, that's fucking hysterical.
Mom and her fake titties or dinner. Where do you get the oven for that? Where do you get a person-sized fucking oven?
Yeah, it's like an industrial size oven. Like professional restaurants have like big ass ovens. It looked pretty industrial.
This was in a fucking basement.
I mean, dude had a year to prepare. I mean, it's like we didn't see him planning his murder spree for like the next year.
Forgot. They probably have them available at Costco.
He waited to the following Thanksgiving to to start killing everybody. So yeah, so all the surviving kids wake up at the table with Daddy and yeah. Homeboy's gonna he's like, hey, you live streamed everyone else dying. We're
gonna live stream your death too.
And he's like, the first dude, like the guy who kind of started it all, pulls out the freaking meat tenderizing hammer, and he's like, oh, you're about to break the internet, and just fucking cracks his head like a damn walnut. But of course, before they all got kidnapped, McCarthy, the local gun dealer with a heart of gold, is like, hey, for good luck, here, take my dad's ring. It's from Iraq or whatever. Turns out it's got I'm like, oh. Foreshadowing, that thing's gonna come important somehow.
Foreshadowing, no, that is TikTok shop all the way, because I've seen the ads for that ring with the little pop-up blade.
So yeah, as she's tied up, she figures out it has a blade, and she's able to, after Homeboy gets killed, and then Daddy he just slices off some thigh meat and tries to make make Daddy eat her. She breaks her rope and takes off running. Leaves everyone else behind, but at least passes.
Fuck them bitches. She's
at least
gone.
passes the knife on to somebody else and like lures the pilgrim away. And I like earlier, like when they got attacked, the sheriff is asking her, it's like, did you notice anything? She's like, no, just dude in a fucking pilgrim outfit. She's like, because usually that's how people get caught. It's like some small little detail, some small fuck up, and that's how they get revealed. Well, she runs through the woods, and you get you see her running through a bush of I don't know what they're here in the
briars
south
or sticklers or
here in the
or something.
south we call them cuckleberries, where it's like the little spiky a cuckleberry. That's
what the fuck is a cuckleberry?
It's the things that were stuck on her dress. It's like that
well.
little seed pod with the spikes on it that sticks to your clothes when you go through whatever those bushes are. Like I said, I don't know what everyone, but here in the south we call them cuckleberries or cuckleberries. But yeah,
alrighty then.
She runs through the woods and finds out that she's like near that warehouse where all the parade floats are being stored, and finds the sheriff knocked out in the driveway and grabs her gun because she sees Bobby sneaking back into the thing, and she's like, "Ooh, Bobby must be the killer." Damn it, Bobby.
How did I know that was coming? Fucking propane and propane accessories. Jesus Christ!
But that was when I'm like, it's definitely not Bobby. I'm like, this is too easy. We're gonna get a surprise reveal. And then she chases him inside, and then
because it couldn't possibly be the weirdo deputy that just showed up in town and acts really fucking strange.
Again, wasn't him.
I know.
But yeah, sheriff shows back up and grabs his gun and supposedly goes inside and fires off a couple rounds at Bobby. And as they all start taking people away, and he's there he's like, "Oh yeah, we found Bobby's phone, and it's logged into the killer's Instagram account. It's definitely him." And finally that whole like, it's the little things that give you away. She's like picking the burrs off her pants. She noticed like the sheriff's boots are like
covered in
burrs. them, and she's like, "Dun dun dun." Which like,
you chased me through the motherfucking woods.
The minute he showed up, and like to get his gun back, I'm like, "Oh, it's the sheriff." It's like that was just way too easy. Because I'm like, and then sure enough, he's like, and she has that flashback to like, it's the little things that give it away, and she's like, and she finally, he Scooby Doo it, like, I would have got away with it.
Weren't for you damn kids.
Here's my murder speech of
story.
why because it
my
turns
villain
out
origin story.
Yeah, so because it turns out sheriff who was friends with the manager was actually banging his wife, and she was pregnant with the sheriff's child and was getting ready to leave her husband for the sheriff. So he lost his love and his baby. So now he's gonna kill all you meddling kids.
Yep.
And she's like, "Well, before you kill me, you forgot to ask me what I was thankful for, because that was his thing. Like, we're gonna go around the table and all say what we're thankful for."
Meanwhile,
like,
I'm gonna chop your head like a fucking melon, but it's fine.
So he's like, "All right, what are you thankful for?" "Thankful for good cell service, because I just live streamed your confession." "Fuck you, dude."
She was not impressive as the last girl. Just the brains were there, but just no balls. Lots of brain, no balls.
I mean, she did wonder when her friends went to make out in the bathroom and got kidnapped by them, and she like finds the cell phone in the dumpster, and just happens to be saved by reflection in the phone. But then like later on, like, oh, so that's how the Pilgrim kept getting around like the cop blockades. He was the cop.
He knew where they were all going to be because he had positioned himself.
It just happens to be, was the sheriff just carrying a backpack full of pilgrim wear.
Which is fucking funny.
It's hard to conceal carry an axe, but somehow the sheriff did it.
When you see this motherfucker, I mean, Patrick Dempsey's not a big guy, and the Pilgrim looks like a big guy, but we all know that Brad Pitt's not 6'7" either, and he's always shot that way. So Tom Cruise always looks like he's 7 foot tall, and
well, it's like the guy in the Scream suit. Probably most of the time not whoever's revealed to be the killer. It's some like freaking 6'2" jacked up stuntman that they switch out at the end.
Yes,
when they
but if
put
I can see the difference in these two people's body types, everybody else should be able to see the difference. It's like, what was it? Like Superman. You put a mask on that just covers your eyes, you are suddenly a different person. Nobody recognizes you. That's bullshit. I'm gonna wear glasses and nobody knows who I am anymore. No. No.
It's Kryptonian space magic.
Okay, so but it also works in like The Incredibles and Batgirl, and it's like, no.
It's well established. You wear glasses, you take your glasses off, no one knows who you are.
That's stupid. That is stupid.
I put my glasses on, and everyone's like, "Where'd Joe go?"
No, they don't.
Clark, what are you doing here?
No, they don't.
It's suspension of disbelief. So yeah, we get of course Bobby, was hiding, and he shows back up to save his girl.
So who the fuck did the sheriff shoot at? Because he's a sheriff, you're assuming he's got some kind of marksmanship. Who the fuck did he shoot at four times?
That's a blatant misconception. I got way more gun training like on my own than I ever did when I was in law enforcement. You only have to qualify twice a year, and that's most of the time the only shooting most people do. I took it more seriously, and I was at the range like once a month and taking classes and everything else. But I was the minority and kind of working on gun skills there. So it's completely possible that
all things that go pew. You are a complete addict when it comes to everything.
It's completely possible that the sheriff completely missed his mark, or he went in there, couldn't find the fucking kid, and just fired off a couple rounds.
I'll take care of him later. I'll figure that out later.
Yeah, let me work on my alibi here and say that I shot at him as he ran away when he didn't see shit. But of course they get into a like, what the fuck were they filling up that balloon with? Because that shit was like fucking explosive. Start inflating a giant turkey. And
I don't think helium is explosive. I don't think
no,
it's
I mean
the unstable like that.
It wasn't propane, or what was the shit they had the Hindenburg filled with? Hydrogen. But whatever they turned on there that happened to be hooked up to the inflatable turkey said flammable.
I don't know. Maybe helium is flammable. I don't think so, though.
Yeah, so they're trying to flee in Homeboy's wrecker and get, of course, the sheriff, the thing gets hooked on a pole and they can't drive away. And, of course, he, T-bones
Plymouth
them.
Rock hits it.
Yeah, T-bones them with the Plymouth Rock float that was the gun guys.
Mayflower crashed into Plymouth Rock. That's what happened.
The gun guys float who had been shooting muskets. And, of course, they left a fully functional musket with powder and everything, and she's
powder and balls and all kinds of shit. We got all the things to load up a musket.
Starts trying to load the musket, but she drops
all the. I mean, I've got one in my trunk right now. Of course.
Drops all the shot, and then has to use her
muzzle loading skills. Well, no, it was a bracelet or
it was like a
charm bracelet her mother gave her.
Yeah, with a mom, and she uses that to load it since she dropped all the balls and shoots the inflatable turkey full of flammable gas that explodes and roasts, said sheriff. Which I'm pretty sure we're gonna have, because we couldn't find a body. He must have been disintegrated.
Yeah, that's not true either.
So next Thanksgiving we'll get another Thanksgiving movie. Now he's gonna be all scarred up and nasty and shit. Back for.
He's gonna look like Freddy.
I mean, we did have the traditional, because you always got the the horror movie trope of you survived, and then the killer comes back for one last, and it turns out it's just a dream. Well, found out old boyfriend and new boyfriend both were not the killer, and
but they both acted like creeps.
Yeah, he's like
they were both creeps.
But it was all hey, he's a good dude. Sorry, I bailed on you. Yeah. So
dealing Adderall at his college, and
ends
he's
up
a good
friends.
dude, and the other one just ghosted you for a year because his baseball dreams.
But they didn't do the dumb thing of her getting back together with the boyfriend that ghosted her. He's like, yeah, we survived this together.
Because the Adderall dealer's so much better. That's such a step up. That's a green flag motherfucker over there. He's acing all his school classes in college because he's fucking stealing little Jimmy's Adderall.
He's a dedicated man. He's works hard for his. Oh, But yeah, they're in bed together, and she has like the door.
You can try to justify anything, is what you're saying there. That's what that leads to. I can justify just about anything if I turn it the right way.
Closet door, goes to check the closet door, and all of a sudden, like, still on fire. Sheriff like jumps her, and then she like wakes up, and it's like, yeah, it's like the traditional, kind of like the end of the first Friday the 13th movie. But yeah, old movie trope. If there ain't a body, we ain't got a killer. Ain't dead. He's definitely coming back for a sequel. I could see this turning into.
Or he might have recruited an apprentice, because we do that too a lot.
Yeah, the Scream movies. It was always like Ghostface
I was actually thinking like Bones. Like the Gravedigger had an apprentice, and so
But Scream is one of those where it's like each time it's a different killer, just inspired by the OG killer, and a new guy in the costume. But yeah, I see a scarred up Patrick Dempsey returning next Thanksgiving for another attempt.
Poor Patrick Dempsey. How far off track does your career have to go?
Or he's one of those guys that just does something fun occasionally. Like, all right, this is fucked up. No one's gonna think of me being the. It's kind of like, I don't know if you remember this trope back in the early 2000 horror movies.
If you say trope one more goddamn time, I swear to Christ.
Trope. That's what they're called. Fucking, just because I'm like, professional movie reviewer here doesn't mean I have to invent new words. It's trope. Look it up. But back in the day,
synonyms for that. You know that, right?
There was Robert Englund used to show up in like every fucking horror movie just to like make you think he's going to be the killer, and he was never the killer.
No, he was a janitor a couple of times. I think the Carrie movie was the second Carrie movie.
He was in the first
janitor.
In the first Scream as the principal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was like a time there where Robert Englund was showing up in like every horror movie just to be that.
He was on Bones too, actually.
So it's like, by putting Patrick Dempsey in this movie, you're like, there's no way it's the fucking sheriff. It's Patrick Dempsey. He would not be like the mass killer.
No, he's the love interest. You can't have him be the bad guy.
Yeah, so it's like, good casting to throw someone, that you're definitely, because I expected the manager from the get-go. I was like, it's going to be the fucking manager. They even show him putting on the mask at one point, and he was just doing it to like protest the
having the sale and opening the store
and shit. So it's like, I was like, through the whole thing, I'm like, it's going to be the husband whose wife
I had my
killed
money
him.
on the boyfriend that my baseball dreams went up in smoke, and now I shall get revenge on everybody. Poor little whiny crybaby.
And the fact that he shows up like
the
day before the murders start.
I randomly appear in town again.
After not being around for you. But that was when I was like, it's too easy. I mean, it's not going to be him, because him being the killer is just far too convenient. Yes, but
in the land of social media that we live in now, in the world that we live in now of social media, you don't just go off radar for a year completely. That's just delete all your socials and just go off radar for no.
Not everyone's addicted to social media.
But most people are.
You already done with your cigar?
Yes.
So what were you smoking for the people?
A fucking Sweet Jane. That's what I was smoking.
Well, you're on the Cigar Nerds now. Give your review. What do you think of the?
I like flavored cigars. I don't like straight up regular cigars. I like flavored cigars. So
you like free fruit cigars? It's all right.
Hey, shut up. I'm allowed to like what I like. It's fine.
I like my coffee to taste like coffee, and my cigars to taste like cigars.
Bitterness and hatred. That's what
So
I like myself. So
a favorite kill?
The turkey. Evil stepmom. She was a total fucking bitch. I didn't like her at all.
Yeah, this is one where like, one of those where you're like,
I see versions of her in real life every single fucking day. Yeah, I want to stick some of them bitches in the oven and just roast them up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I don't know if this is kind of the new thing in horror movies. Is like your victims all where you're like, yeah, these people are all assholes. You cheer for the killer. It's like the last Saw movie was that way.
Until you go after the kids, don't go after the kids, and until you do that, you're
even
fine.
The kids, with the exception of our final girl Jessica, who wasn't completely innocent in all this to begin with.
Scuba was not. He didn't do anything either. I mean, he was just.
Well, he was like he wasn't the one like live streaming it, but he definitely was not wholly innocent. He didn't at least Bobby tried to help someone out in the thing where Scuba wasn't Scuba and Jessica both were not, I would say, fully responsible, but they were at least kind of like I know what you did last summer type of thing.
Mm-hmm. They were involved. They were on the periphery.
Yeah, they so it's like, yeah, you didn't have anyone who was like completely innocent. You were like, oh man, I hope that person doesn't die. They don't deserve this. Where you're like, most of these people are assholes.
Well, yeah, but there's a different level of asshole, though. It's like,
yeah, but I like, yeah, the
toss mom in the fucking oven. She fucking deserves it. I don't like her anyway, but
yeah, that was the most Eli Roth kill I seen, because very very Saw like, but the 50% off thing, like, that cracked me up so bad.
Funny.
I was like, oh my, this is the movie we're watching, is the 50%.
That was funny.
That one, I was like, all right, bravo, sir, bravo. Well, do you think we're gonna get another? I mean, this movie made money. I mean, it's not like, like,
this was filler material. It was
so
what
far
we
it's
came
made
up
about,
with to put something out because we couldn't put out anything.
I mean, budget of $15 million. It's made $30 million so far, so it's profitable. So I kind of hope we get another one of these. This could be like an annual like Thanksgiving tradition to get one of these like fucking Thanksgiving horror movies every year.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, so yeah, I'm about halfway through this here Los Santos. I say I like it better than the other one. The other one was a little bit too light for me, but this giving it the Maduro wrapper and kind of kicking the strength up. This is kind of a medium full, and it's got a little bit of a coffee bitterness, woody, peppery. When I do like a good peppery cigar, and it's not stupid expensive. It's about $12. So it's one where it's not, you're not going to break the bank if you want to try one. So definitely and this is going to be a part of their regular rotation, so it's not a limited edition cigar. So you'll be able to pick one of these up whenever you want one. So yeah, definitely give this a try. It's tastes pretty good to me. So what other, now that we've got Thanksgiving's off the list, what other holidays needs horror movies?
Well, I would say St. Patrick's Day, but I guess
we got the
Leprechaun kind
movies.
of took care of that.
Yeah, those are pretty,
so
Arbor Day?
Fuck you. What
Fucking killer trees?
the Ents are gonna rise up from Lord of the Rings and go after people? No. But then again, they turned Winnie the fucking Pooh into a horror movie too, so
Like, I'm surprised.
there are no off limits.
I'm surprised they've not made an adult Scooby-Doo movie.
They've made lots of adults.
No, I mean like a legit like horror movie Scooby-Doo movie.
I feel like that might have something to do with licensing. Whoever holds the rights to that shit has not decided to sell out yet.
Fucking Winnie the Pooh. Like, after a property is so old, it goes into like public domain, and you can, I think like the rule with
but does that count if it's still there's still a current iteration of it? Because
I mean, like, I think they had to pass a law that Mickey Mouse like got like an extra 50 years. like normally it's like after a certain amount of time they become, and even like Winnie the Pooh, it was like as long as you didn't show him wearing like the shirt, it was the character of Winnie the Pooh was I guess for me, like, the shirt wearing Winnie the Pooh was still copyrighted, but the character of the Winnie the Pooh was not. Kind of like, I think Snow White is in the public domain now, so there's like going to be a couple competing Snow White movies coming out.
yes, and they all look like they're gonna suck.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's like give us a good like R-rated horror Scooby-Doo movie.
Go for it, dear. You should write that.
Yeah. Copyright. Yeah. That's my new video project. Yeah, but that's all I got for you this week. Hopefully y'all had a good Thanksgiving, and we'll be right back with some science.
And you've been watching the Cigar Nerds podcast. Check us out on cigarnerdpodcast.com and on the ESO Network, esonetwork.com. And don't forget, smoke them if you got them. Like, comment, and subscribe.